Simon Hughes. I have a naval background. I was in the Navy for 30 years. And Lockheed has a great relationship with Canada and the Atlantic provinces over a long, probably 40 years now, to be honest. And most of our business in Canada is maritime, and a huge amount of it happens to be on the East Coast with the naval fleet in general. So one of the things I always, tell somebody when you want to come and talk to me is like, do a little bit of research first, right? I mean, the website's there. There's all kinds of great information on the website about what we do in Canada, what we do beyond Canada. What we're looking for in suppliers, how do you become a supplier? Simple things like get registered in the supplier database and indicate that, you're a Canadian supplier, right? Because when you're in the database, when our sourcing people are looking for something, whatever that is, they're going to go to the database first and see, well, who do we already have in the database? Oh, we've got 5 companies. Have we worked with any of these 5 companies before? Oh, we've worked with these 3. Okay, and that's where they'll start. If you're not in the database, they'll never see you. Right. So I always tell them, do a bit of research on us before you come and talk to us. So where we can go, okay, you've been able to then articulate how you might fit in with our interests, either current programs or possible future opportunities within the business. And again, if you're talking to me and you think this is more an opportunity with the broader LM, you can still have a conversation with Lockheed Martin Canada folks that are at one of these conferences, for example. That's totally fine. But do your research, sit down. One of the things that helps the conversation is, often the big tier ones, not just Lockheed, when the ITB policy came in a number of years now, it changed things in a great way. And it's a good policy. It works for Canadian industry, in terms of driving economic benefit and jobs in Canada. It's effective. But it came in and people got the perception that the big tier ones were kind of like investment banks, right? You have obligations that you made on current programs, and you're looking at making obligations on future programs to compete and win those. And you have dollars to invest in Canadian industry as a result of the value proposition. And that's 100% true. But none of the tier ones operate as a bank. So if you just come and say, hey, I need money to do this, unless there's a connection there or there's a logic there as to why we would invest, there's nothing I can do to help you, right? So that goes back to the research piece. Have a real think. So when you sit down and you talk, when I'm sitting there listening, I'll understand, okay, you understand what you're talking about. It's not that you're asking me for money, it's that you see a fit and you've articulated to me the benefits of that fit, not just from the technology piece or the service piece, but also how, if we invest, the value that will derive from that. Not just necessarily a one-time value, but perhaps a greater value, and maybe it's applicable across more areas of Lockheed than just my particular business area where I work, right? And when somebody does that and they have a great product, and most of them have great products, it's not a question that hey, that's not a cool thing or a great thing. It's the rest that some people haven't done a bit of homework on before they come and talk to you, right? And there's a big difference when you're sitting down and listening between one person and the other person. And if the person has done the research and they can articulate the business proposition, the value proposition to us, and it's logical, okay, I will always take that away and go back to the industrial development folks who deal with ITBs and Valprop, who look across an integrated view of Canada in terms of everything that's on our books we're trying to achieve, look across all of the 4 business areas that Lockheed Martin has, because if it's not us, hey, it might be somebody else. And they'll at least then have a look. But if I don't come away understanding what the value is, chances of me honestly doing anything about it after that are pretty slim. And that's the kind of advice I would give.
Simply perfect, Simon. I mean, there will be SMEs watch this and better now understand how to have that conversation. And to be quite honest with you, I've not heard it articulated in such an elegant fashion to make it easy for those SMEs to understand it. So fantastic, and I hope that if we do nothing else, we take that snippet and help those SMEs get in front of you. Because I can tell you, I've had the pleasure of picking up the phone and calling you and helping companies have that conversation with Lockheed Martin, and I know your doors are open. I know they are. You want to be in the conversation.
And we want to use small medium business for the obvious reasons of ITB VP, but also in many cases it's just a great company with
Yeah.
a great product or a great service, regardless of the fact that they're an SMB qualification, right? It's not
Yeah.
always just about, it's not just about investing in SMB to derive the Valprop equation. It's hey, this is a great company that we want to work with because they've got great stuff. Stuff being a highly technical
Right.
term, of course.
Yeah.
Right? So, they have great stuff, and we want
Yeah.
to work with them.
Yeah.
And so it's not just the one thing.
Yeah.
We're not just looking at you because we want to take your value so we can write a piece of paper to give it to ISIT
Yeah.
so we can claim an obligation at it 5 times or 6 times or 7 times
Yeah.
multiplier. It's not just about that.
No.
It's first and foremost about, is this smart business? Do we want to work with this company?